We continue our breaking news coverage after the destructive tornado ripped through the heart of Jefferson City. The National Weather Service is estimating the tornado was an EF3. Wind speeds likely topped out at 160 miles an hour. Now, this is aerial footage right now from our friends at KTVI out of St. Louis. My co-anchor, Ashley Strohmeyer, is in Jefferson City, as she has been since before the tornado hit. Ashley, you grew up in Jeff City, and like other residents, you are amazed by what you're seeing.
You know, Joey, even though I've been out here for what seems like forever, I've been out here since 11:45 after that tornado just tore through this area. Just hearing you say an EF3 tornado with winds of 160 miles per hour ripped through here, I still can't believe it. Even though I've been covering this all day, I still cannot believe that happened in Jefferson City. And that is the mood and what I'm feeling from other people just as I speak to them. Earlier today at 1:30, I actually spoke to a woman. She's from here, but she was living in Kansas City. She has storage units right off to my left. She drove all the way from Kansas City, and she was told that she could not go down there and get her belongings because of, you know, whatever reason it was. She believed that it was looting. I never heard that personally, but that's what she said. And she said that all she wanted to do was go down there and get her things because her parents had died years prior, and those were her parents' belongings, and that's all she had left to remember them by. And those are the kinds of stories that I've been listening to, and I've been talking to people in this area about all day long. Now, we have a soundbite that we're going to bring up from Lieutenant Dave Williams from earlier today. Let's take a listen.
The debris cleanup in the area, at this point, what we're trying to do is we're working with Public Works. We're going to be able to offer the city residents and the county residents through a different facility an opportunity to bring some of that debris to the curbside. And working with FEMA and SEMA, we are able to identify, we're going to be able to come pick that up.
And multiple homes in Jefferson City were extremely damaged, as you can imagine, with an EF3 tornado touching down here. And now residents are really starting to pick up those pieces, just as these crews behind me have been working diligently throughout the night, throughout the morning, and well into the night, as you could imagine. ABC 17's Connor Hirsch spoke with residents on Case Avenue, right next to Jefferson City High School. Connor, families are working to clean up the area.
It's truly a heartbreaking sight here in Jefferson City, and I was born and raised here, and seeing some of this damage is just absolutely unbelievable. I just never thought something like this could happen. And I was here on Case Avenue talking with residents, and I spoke with one couple that has a truly heroic story.
It's just too much to grasp.
You all right over there?
I'm completely exhausted. I haven't slept in 29 hours now.
Exhaustion, devastation, and relief for Debbie Lawrence and Lolita Ponder.
Went in and woke her up, and of course, being the true Missourian, she said, "Oh, it's just a flash flood warning."
Fortunately, she convinced her to get down to the basement.
This hole, this is the bed where she would have been in.
She took me around and showed me their property.
Hey, but you can see my tables from the patio are up over there. And of course, you can see the huge tree that broke over here.
After the storm, she described it as something out of a movie.
Everybody's just walking around not knowing what to do and just crying. They've lost everything. That's exactly what Case Avenue was like last night.
This afternoon was a reunion. Two neighbors reminisce about saving a woman's life.
So the neighbor and I ran down there. I busted in her door, and we pulled her out to safety. I hear somebody yelling for help. I'm capable of helping. I'm going to go do it. You know, I don't even know the woman. Never met her before. We've only lived here for a month. But she needed help, and we went and helped her.
You're a hero in this situation.
I'm not a hero. I just got somebody out from a dangerous situation. Anybody would do it, wouldn't they?
We're fine.
I don't know.
Well,
That's not far, yeah.
for now, they're staying with some family while they pick up the pieces.
Long term, I don't know. It's just gonna play it day by day. That's all we can do right now.
And I just spoke with them a few moments ago, and now they are starting to board up their home, which is right behind me. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Connor Hirsch, ABC 17 News.
ABC 17's Brittany Wiley is joining us live from Heritage Highway tonight. Brittany, all that's left of one business is a bathroom.
Ashley, I'm standing here outside the RC race barn. Now, I spoke with the owner today. He said it was a 12,000 square foot building. Now all that's left standing, and I'm going to step out of the way here, is the bathroom. That's all that was left after what happened here last night. He told me that typically racers are here on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, and he was thankful that last night they were able to finish things up early and get everyone home safely. He said also that he is hopeful to rebuild because of the fun that it can bring to families.
This is a lot of fun. We have young kids do it. We have adult kids that also participate. It's a good family adventure, but everything is on hold for a little bit.
Now, Turpincy also told me that he was grateful that he hasn't quite moved his hobby shop to this location because that would have resulted in even more loss for him. Ashley, I'm going to send things back to you.
Brittany, thank you. And really quickly, I want to bring in ABC 17's Lucas Geisler. Lucas, you spoke to Mayor Carrie Turgeon just before we started the 5 o'clock newscast. We talked about the curfew.
Yeah, curfew will go into effect in Jefferson City at 9 o'clock tonight until 5 in the morning tomorrow. It's for the area from Stadium Boulevard South all the way up to the river between Lafayette and Madison. She says it's so that law enforcement can help protect areas that were affected by the storms overnight. There are exceptions for people who have to work in that area, who are coming to and from work during that time. But again, 9 o'clock tonight starts that curfew in Jefferson City.
All right, Lucas, thank you. And we'll hear from you later on in this newscast and, of course, later on tonight. For now, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, Joey.
All right, Ashley, thank you. And, you know, when you saw Brittany from that horse barn, the race barn, rather, and you saw the only thing left standing, that's why Kevin, Jessica, and the gang all say go to a center room in your house, a windowless room. It's important to do that. Again, I can't tell you that you'd be all that great in that bathroom. But the National Weather Service confirmed just over an hour ago that severe weather that hit Eldon last night was also a tornado. ABC 17's Olivia Gerling was there and toured one of the damaged houses.
I want to show you some of the damage I'm seeing here in Eldon. If you take a look behind me right here, this carport, the walls have just been ripped apart. Now I'm going to continue walking over here and show you that signs like this one, several people have told me that they've come from just blocks away. And if we keep heading over this way, you can actually see one of the power line poles. It is just hanging by the power lines. Owners of this house took me inside. What's left is not much. Glass and parts of a torn-up ceiling litter the floor.
I saw this, and it's like, you don't realize how precious life is, and in just one instant, it could be taken.
This house got the worst of it in the neighborhood, but many people still have to deal with the damage, like Rhonda Shell's mother.
She obviously had some angels looking over her, because her house, yes, it has damage, but nothing like the destruction you see here.
So much destruction for so small a town. Some of Eldon's residents told me that they're just happy to be alive. In Eldon, Olivia Gerling, ABC 17 News.
Now, many folks in Eldon are still without power after that strong storm. The power went out around 11 o'clock last night. Some residents have decided to leave Eldon while crews work to restore power. Many businesses are going to be closed in the meantime.
We just figured we'd just clean everything up and just wait till we do get some power. I've got a generator, but obviously no phone line, so I can't really conduct any business right now.
Now, crews say they aren't sure exactly when all the power will be restored, but they say it will take a couple days at least. Well, we could be seeing a bit of active weather again tonight. ABC 17 StormTrack meteorologist Kevin Schneider is in for Chief Meteorologist Jessica Quick. And Kevin, it's not likely to be anywhere near as severe.
No, thank goodness, Joey. We're not going to be tracking those long, dangerous, devastating tornadoes that we saw move into places like Jefferson City tonight. I feel fairly confident in saying that, but we do have an outside chance at picking up some severe weather if things kind of go our direction into the overnight hours. Right now, though, again, still on the warm side. We're going to be still muggy as we head into tonight as we keep that chance of rain. It's going to be moving back in some of our northwesternmost counties. That's where I think we have that better chance. Again, it's not the best chance. It's not a slam dunk like what we saw yesterday. 67 degrees for an overnight low. Those winds out of the east initially turn out of a more southerly direction. That'll help warm us up into tomorrow. Those temperatures really going to be taking off for your Friday. So let's jump right into future track. Again, we do have that chance of rain. You see a warm front starting to lift here as we head into the overnight hours. That could spark off a few showers or thunderstorms right along Interstate 70. And as those track off toward the north, they could grow upscale just a bit. That's what we're going to be tracking for the most part here, I think, into much of the area, into mid-Missouri. But notice what's forming off to our northwest. There's a complex of showers and thunderstorms. That seems to have a little more potential at some severe weather, but thankfully it looks to be staying to our northwest with the latest couple of runs of future track. And again, notice that time just above my head there into the overnight hours once again. So it's going to be one of those things that we head into the overnight hours. We're going to be tracking once again. We'll be here with you again as long as it takes. But you notice that complex of showers and thunderstorms really tries to reinvigorate, but still staying well out of the area as we head into the early morning hours on your Friday. So nonetheless, Storm Prediction Center does have some of us into a slight risk. That's at second tier, mainly for that damaging wind threat, I think, as we head into tomorrow. If we can get that complex of thunderstorms a little further southeast from where they're developing on that latest run of future track, but all of us in that marginal threat for those showers and possibly some thunderstorms along that warm front overnight tonight. That warm front, you're going to feel it tomorrow as those winds out of the south, again, still a little breezy, but we're going to be topping out in those mid to upper 80s, so we're going to be pushing 90 in some isolated areas. And we pick up another chance of rain as we head into the overnight hours on your Friday, and we're going to be picking up, again, here's a look at some more rainfall potential numbers in some of our northwesternmost counties. It's good news that it's most likely staying to the northwest, but that's not where we want it to fall either, because eventually it's going to be draining down into the Missouri River. So that's just going to be prolonging some of those flooding threats. So again, 67 degrees tonight for an overnight low. When we come back, I'll be tracking those river levels, and I'll tell you where we're going to be falling historically along places like Jefferson City.
With all the damage around mid-Missouri, and the state authorities are warning people it's time to beware of scammers. Missouri's Attorney General Eric Schmidt says scammers often come in after natural disasters to try to make a quick buck by selling supplies or tools. They usually do it by price gouging or some other way of taking advantage of people in their time of need. Unconscionable, but people do it, you know that. The University of Missouri is offering its help after the storms. Missouri officials have been in contact with state and local officials, including people at Lincoln University. Temporary housing will be available on Mizzou's campus for LU employees and students, along with their families. MUPD has also sent 7 officers to Jefferson City to help out.
Still to come on ABC 17 News at 5, where the news comes first.
We are going back out to our team coverage of the Jefferson City EF3 tornado coming up. Continuing our breaking news of the tornado in Jefferson City and Eldon and other damage. We have some video that was sent to us from a viewer in Jefferson City. You can see some of the damage. Of course, we've been out gathering a lot of this, and this is just a little bit of what's left, as Ashley Strohmeyer, Lucas Geisler, and the entire team have been showing us on the ground that it is quite a mess. We are going back out to Ashley now, and Ashley, the cleanup efforts are underway certainly, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, Joey, it's going to take a little bit, but as you can tell behind me, this road even being as clear as it is, and these power poles going up as I speak, that's saying something. This community really does come together whenever push comes to shove. That's one thing that I can say about Jefferson City, being living here for 25 years. When something bad happens, everyone piles in, all hands on deck, trying to get this place back up and running. And that was the consensus with people that I spoke to today. Residents that have been here their entire lives. They own businesses in this area that was destroyed last night by that tornado that ripped through here. And that's kind of the camaraderie that this area and this town really has. And it's something that I have felt since I was a little girl. When I lived here. So it's just something that continues to build, and it's something that I think the city of Jefferson City should be proud of. I have been out here since 11:45 last night when that tornado, 15 minutes after that tornado ran through this area. And like I said, Joey, this place, it's not going to be long before they have it back together. We talked to Mayor Carrie Turgeon earlier today, and she said everybody's coming together like she knew they would. For now, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Ashley, and of course we were watching this go down. We had warnings, we had alerts, sirens were going off. There were plenty of warnings, but you know, a lot of people think it's going to happen, Kevin, to somebody else and not them. That we're hearing that a lot. I'm guilty of it myself, and I know that at one point we were all told to take shelter down in the basement here at KMIZ off of the Business Loop in Columbia. Luckily, we were spared, but some people sometimes just don't have a place to go, but just getting away sometimes can make all the difference in the world. We actually have a path of that destruction of the EF3 tornado, and I think we have an image of that, you guys. Can we pull that up? Again, when you look at the path and then you look at your forecasting, they come together and make sense, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of times we can see where we're seeing some of that debris lofted just a little bit higher up into the atmosphere. That's what we saw last night. In places like Eldon, you can see right there in that circled area, that's what we look for on debris tracker. And as we were heading into last night, this is about the time when me, Luke, and Bridget looked at each other, and I think we got an eerie feeling in about the pit of our stomach, because we knew where that was headed, and it looked like it was lofting debris. And at that point where that radar beam is, Joey, that's at least 10,000 feet above the ground. So that debris's got to get up there for it to be detected. That's that little blue dot right there. That's what we refer to as a tornado debris signature that we can see on radar. That often helps us as we head into the overnight hours when we certainly can't see those as well.
So it's deceiving because for those of us who are not meteorologists, you see the red, then you see that area, and maybe you think that's calm, but that could actually be even more severe because the debris is being blown up into the system, right?
Yeah, what you have to do, what we do as meteorologists, is look at the system as a whole, and what happens is you look at some of those colors and in relation to what it looks like on normal radar and velocity. When all of those things are lining up, that's where we consider that a tornado debris signature. The National Weather Service noticed that. That's when they issued the initial Cole County tornado warning. They mentioned that it was on the ground. They thought it was on the ground, likely doing damage. And it seemed like it wanted to follow 54 all the way into Jefferson City, Joey.
It did, but again, we had some minor injuries, no life-threatening injuries, and no deaths, and I just can't stress that enough. But still, for the people who've been affected, there is a benefit concert that to help raise money for the Jefferson City community. Now, it's still kind of being put together here. It's going to be at the Blue Note in Columbia, May 30th. Have a little bit of fun and help these people kind of get back on their feet. Artists for the show haven't been decided yet, but doors will open at 6 in the evening, and the show starts at 7. We'll keep you updated on this from the Blue Note.
And as things continue to quiet down here across mid-Missouri, some folks still a little bit on the warm side as we got into this afternoon. We're looking at 74 degrees, places like Macon 73 and Marshall still a little more comfortable. The rest of us in those upper 70s, if not in that 80-degree range. Places like Osage Beach back toward Lynn sitting right on the number at 80 degrees. So as we head into the next couple of hours, we'll gradually cool off, but it's still going to be a little bit muggy overnight. We're going to be tracking some of those showers and storms possibly developing along that warm front. But into this weekend, it's never too early to look ahead to the holiday weekend. We do have some rain chances that are going to be sticking around as well, and they do come with an outside severe threat, but there's going to be plenty of dry time, it looks like, into this weekend. I mentioned it was going to be a little muggy heading into the overnight hours. Those temperatures only getting down into those upper 60s. That's thanks to those winds returning back out of a more southerly direction tonight. That's going to push in some of that more moisture as we head into tomorrow, and it's going to increase those temperatures as well into the afternoon hours, pushing those middle 80s. A lot of us, I think, going to be a little bit warmer than that. Could be pushing 90 degrees in some isolated areas. So looking at that Memorial Day weekend, again, a little cooler than that as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. Those clouds going to be hanging around a little bit, keeping those temperatures knocked back a few more degrees, but we have those storm chances both Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday, and that's going to be bringing with it some more unwanted rain as we head into the area. This is the first batch of rain as we get through your holiday weekend. There's another one shortly on its heels here. Notice further northwest, that's where we're going to be seeing primarily more higher numbers in those rainfall amounts. That's not good news when it comes to some of this river flooding that we've been tracking really since about the start of March. Looking at some of these crests, though, they are starting to come down a little bit. Some of these forecast crests over the last day or so. We're under 32 feet at Jefferson City, but still puts us in the top 10 historically of all those crests that we've seen over the years here around Jefferson City. Chamois, right around that third highest, fifth highest, if all of these crests verify. I think we're going to be seeing those high waters, though, as we head throughout much of the weekend. So any of those folks wanting to do any sort of camping, doesn't look like one of those good weekends. A lot of those folks may be underwater in those camping locations. Unfortunately, we could be tracking these as we head on the other side of this weekend as well, because Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday, there's that next batch of rain moving in as early as Tuesday, but nothing looks to be a slam dunk in the way of severe threats. But again, we're continuing to track that. You can see how fast some of these can evolve. Yesterday's scenario really evolved within about the span of 24 hours. It changed pretty quickly. So again, something that we continue to track and will continue to do so as we head into tonight, Joey.
Again, that EF3, 136 to 165 miles an hour winds, and it was closer to the top of that.
I was going to say, it's probably a little higher, closer toward the top there, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we are back in just a moment.